Hey friendly friends! When the Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out, one character absolutely stole the show. Of course, I'm talking about Groot. Seemingly overnight, this guy went from an obscure comic book character to a pop culture icon. But who exactly is he and what's his story? Well, today here on Comic Drake, I'm going to give you his history and origins so you can learn more about this awesome tree guy for yourself. The tree we all know and love as Groot is actually a reimagining of a character that appeared in Tales to Astonish number 13 all the way back in 1959. However, that Groot has been established as a totally separate character from the gentle giant that we know today. Groot is a Flora Colossus from Planet X, and he was always an outcast among his fellow saplings, but actually got along quite well with the planet's maintenance mammals, who serve the Flora Colossi, I guess is the plural. Most others of his species treated the mammals as lesser beings, but Groot did what he could to stand up for them. Eventually, Groot was banished from his home for saving the life of a human girl that his planet had taken prisoner, and Groot traveled the galaxy, but claimed that he was the monarch of his home planet. Now, many of you have seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and know that Groot can only repeat one phrase over and over and over again. I am Groot. So, how could he lie to people and claim that he is royalty or even anything at all? You see, when he was first introduced, Groot could talk in complete sentences. However, in every instance, that could have been attributed to Star-Lord's former Universal Translator implant. That was never confirmed, though. Regardless, this speech later devolved further until it finally became the I am Groot that we know today. The in-universe explanation for this is that Groot's vocal cords are stiff and inflexible. So you see, while all that most people hear is I am Groot, he's actually speaking a complex language. This can be visualized during the time that Groot and a young Jean Grey had a telepathic conversation. Funnily enough though, Groot is actually a genius, easily grasping something as complicated as quasi-dimensional superpositional engineering. It's assumed that Groot got up to all sorts of misdeeds as he ended up meeting Rocket Raccoon when they shared a prison cell. The two were not friends at first. I mean, heck, Rocket couldn't even understand Groot. However, the two became closer, and during a fight with the guards, Rocket discovered that he could actually understand his roommate. After that, the two were inseparable. Groot eventually broke out of jail with Rocket, and they landed right back in another prison. This time though, Groot and Rocket were drafted by the Kree Empire to be a part of a special ops group led by Star-Lord against the invading techno-organic species, the Phalanx. This task force was technology-free, and as such they were invisible to the Phalanx. Star-Lord's team was invaluable in fighting off this invasion, and afterwards Star-Lord took many of those members to form a brand new team that would defend the galaxy from large threats, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Admittedly, Groot was not a major player in a lot of the Guardians' stories, mostly acting as a powerhouse during combat and as comedic relief with his Groot-isms. However, he was able to use his fake status as royalty to get a seat on the Galactic Council and help the Guardians get an official foothold, so that's neat. At the end of the Thanos Imperative crossover event though, the Guardians were disbanded since Star-Lord seemingly died. During this time, Groot went back to Planet X, but was immediately arrested and tried for impersonating the king. His punishment? Being pecked at by robotic birds for eternity like Prometheus, since his bark grows back. Thankfully, Rocket saved him, and the two adventured for a bit until the Guardians reformed, including this time that they were on a space reality TV show, led by the villainous Mojo. Back with the Guardians, Groot went back to his background Grooty ways. Oh, there was this time that Groot temporarily hosted his fellow Guardian Agent Venom's symbiote, and yeah, Groot was once Venom. The more you know. Sometimes, Rocket and Groot will actually go off on their own adventures, like this time that Groot gave Rocket a treasure map for his birthday, and after many trials and tribulations, it turns out that Groot just organized a party for his buddy with some of the other Guardians. While it was a sweet gesture, Rocket was not a fan of there not being an actual monetary reward. Now, that might seem like a one-off story, but it actually had repercussions into another book when Rocket got lost and carved a map into Groot's bark under the guise of a map. Groot went on a wild goose chase with the map for months looking for Rocket, who had imprisoned a dictator and took over his empire in the meantime. Why? Well, that was because Rocket wanted to get Groot back for the aforementioned birthday treasure hunt. The dude was looking for his friend who he thought was lost and maybe dead, and had to keep carving the map in himself over and over again because his bark heals back quickly. This is a dick move, Rocket. Dick move. The two made their peace though, and they still traveled around with the Guardians of the Galaxy. They even participated in the Black Vortex crossover event, where Groot submitted to the powerful Black Vortex and obtained breathtaking cosmic power. But could still only say, I am Groot. In the end, he relinquished this power back to the Black Vortex, but this did permanently change his appearance, where he's now sporting a star-shaped emblem on his chest, along with vine-like muscles and hair. These days, the Guardians are stranded on Earth after their ship blew up, and Groot hangs out with Rocket in a park.
If you're watching this video, then chances are you're a fan of Marvel Comics just like me, and that's why you might want to take a look at getting the Marvel Gear and Goods Crate by Loot Crate. This thing isn't your normal Loot Crate that you hear a million people shilling. In fact, this is a little bit more of a premium box with some awesome goodies in it. Like, this one is all Wolverine themed, and there is this key holder that holds keys like Wolverine, and they pop out like his claws, which is super cool. This one also came with this awesome bag from the Weapon X project, which is really cool. We've got some super awesome Wolverine socks. There's a headlamp for some reason. And we even have this Laura, which is the current Wolverine, because, you know, regular Logan is dead. She has a canteen for some reason, but it's a nice canvas one. And of course, you know, you got your pin that they give you every month. But this is a really cool crate. I'm a big fan of this particular one. But granted, I'm a big Loot Crate fan in general, more so the Loot Gaming. But the Marvel Goods Crate has been fantastic. If you want to get one for yourself and support the show in the process, then please go to lootcrate.com/trailerdrake and use the code LESSMONEY at checkout, and you'll get 10% off. This way, you'll get a little something while still helping out the show. It is here in Comic Drake Guardians of the Galaxy month, so expect a lot more videos, and you can just click this button right here, and it has all of our Guardians of the Galaxy videos. So that's a very handy feature, YouTube. Thanks for that. Like and subscribe. I'm out of here.